In a small, forgotten town nestled deep within the woods, there stood an old schoolhouse with a history that sent shivers down the spines of locals. They called it Shadow School, a name earned for the eerie shadows that seemed to dance through its decaying halls. The townsfolk warned children to stay away, but the adventurous spirit of a group of teenagers prevailed. One fateful night, 3 friends, Alex, Emma, and Jake, decided to explore the abandoned building that had cast a sinister presence over their town for generations. As the trio approached the creaking front door, the wind whispered through the surrounding trees, carrying with it an unsettling moan that echoed the ghosts of the past. The door swung open with a haunting groan, as if inviting the curious trespassers to enter. Inside Shadow School, the air was thick with a palpable tension. The friends wandered through dimly lit corridors, the silence broken only by the echoes of their footsteps. Flickering fluorescent lights cast eerie shadows on the peeling walls, and the smell of dampness hung in the air. As they explored further, strange whispers seemed to beckon them deeper into the heart of the school. The friends exchanged nervous glances but pressed on, unable to resist the allure of the unknown. The whispers grew louder, unintelligible voices that sent chills down their spines. In one forgotten classroom, they discovered an old chalkboard covered in cryptic symbols and faded drawings of grotesque figures. The atmosphere thickened and the temperature dropped, creating an icy aura that froze the courage in their hearts. The group stumbled upon the school's assembly hall, a vast space that once echoed with the laughter of children. In the center of the room stood a dilapidated stage, and on it, a dusty piano sat untouched for years. As if on cue, a haunting melody began to play, the keys moving with unseen hands. In the dim light, a spectral figure emerged from the shadows. It was a ghostly apparition of a young girl in a tattered school uniform, her eyes hollow and filled with an otherworldly sorrow. The friends watched in paralyzed horror as she silently beckoned them to join her on the stage. Unable to resist the phantom's call, they approached, their hearts pounding in their chests. The ghostly girl pointed to the piano, and with an ethereal touch, the keys played a mournful tune. The room filled with a haunting melody that seemed to pierce their souls. As the ghostly performance reached its climax, the temperature in the room plummeted. The friends felt an oppressive presence closing in on them. Shadows twisted and contorted, taking on nightmarish forms that seemed to hunger for their fear. The apparition's face twisted into a grotesque mask, and the once melancholic tune turned into a dissonant cacophony. The friends clutched their heads in agony as the malevolent force seeped into their minds, dredging up their darkest fears. With every tortured step, they tried to escape the suffocating grip of Shadow School. The corridors twisted and turned, becoming an inescapable labyrinth. Whispers grew into blood-curdling screams, and the walls seemed to close in around them. In the heart of Shadow School, the friends found themselves trapped in a nightmarish realm where reality and illusion melded into a grotesque dance. The malevolent force reveled in their terror, distorting the once familiar surroundings into a surreal nightmare. Haunted by their deepest fears, the friends faced grotesque manifestations of their past sins and insecurities. Shadows danced maliciously, contorting into grotesque shapes that mirrored their inner demons. Each step felt like a descent into madness as the malevolent presence fed on their anguish. As the line between reality and nightmare blurred, the friends questioned their sanity. The walls seemed to pulse with malevolence, and the air crackled with an unholy energy. In the heart of Shadow School, they were ensnared in a web of terror, unable to escape the clutches of the malevolent force that had awakened within its decaying walls. In the nightmarish depths of Shadow School, the friends stumbled upon a dimly lit room that seemed to pulse with a sinister energy. In its center stood an ancient mirror, its surface warped and twisted like a gateway to another realm. As they approached, the reflection in the mirror morphed into grotesque distortions of their own faces. The mirror seemed to feed on their fears, projecting twisted versions of their deepest insecurities. Alex saw a version of himself covered in crawling spiders, Emma witnessed a reflection of her own face contorted in anguish, and Jake was confronted by a spectral figure from his past. Terrified, the friends tried to turn away, but an unseen force compelled them to gaze into the mirror. The room echoed with mocking laughter as the distorted reflections whispered nightmarish truths about their innermost fears. The malevolent force within Shadow School seemed to feed on the fear and despair of its unwitting victims. The friends, now on the brink of madness, stumbled into a room filled with old photographs lining the walls. Each picture depicted scenes of bygone students, frozen in moments of joy and innocence. As they gazed upon the images, the faces of the children warped into twisted expressions of pain and anguish. It was as if the malevolent force sought to reveal the sins and secrets of the past, casting a sinister light on the dark history of Shadow School. A ghostly voice echoed through the room, recounting tales of betrayal, loss, and tragedy. The friends realized that Shadow School was a vessel for the tormented spirits of its past inhabitants, trapped in a never-ending cycle of suffering. The friends, tormented by the revelations of Shadow School's sinister history, felt their sanity slipping away. The malevolent force toyed with their minds, manifesting nightmarish illusions that blurred the line between reality and hallucination. They stumbled through corridors that twisted and turned like a demented maze. Shadows danced on the walls, whispering tales of despair and doom. The once familiar halls became a surreal landscape where time and space seemed to fold upon themselves. As they delved deeper into the heart of Shadow School, the malevolent force intensified its grip, dragging them into a nightmarish abyss. Each step echoed with the hollow sound of their own heartbeats, and the air crackled with an oppressive energy that threatened to consume them entirely. In the bowels of Shadow School, the friends reached the heart of the malevolent force. In a chamber shrouded in darkness, they confronted the ghostly apparition that had lured them into this twisted nightmare. The ghostly girl, once melancholic, now wore a malevolent grin. Her eyes glowed with an otherworldly malice as she revealed the tragic tale of Shadow School's cursed history. The town had long forgotten its sins, but the spirits trapped within the decaying walls sought retribution. The malevolent force, born from the collective anguish of the tormented spirits, hungered for the friends' souls to perpetuate its curse. Shadows writhed and contorted, reaching out like ethereal tendrils to ensnare them. In a desperate bid for survival, the friends tried to break the cycle of suffering. They uncovered forgotten artifacts and whispered incantations, hoping to sever the ties that bound Shadow School to its tragic past. As the friends' final incantation echoed through the haunted halls, a deafening silence fell upon Shadow School. The malevolent force recoiled, its grip weakening. The ghostly apparition, once filled with malice, now wore a sorrowful expression. With a blinding flash, Shadow School seemed to exhale a collective sigh, and the friends found themselves standing outside the dilapidated building, the morning sun casting its warm glow upon the town. The curse was lifted, but the memories of their nightmarish ordeal lingered. Shadow School stood as a haunting reminder of the town's forgotten sins, a testament to the thin veil between the living and the restless spirits of the past. As the friends walked away, the echoes of their haunted experience remained etched in their minds. Shadows danced at the corners of their vision, a lingering reminder of the malevolent force that once sought to consume them. Little did they know, the town's history was forever changed, and Shadow School would forever be etched into the nightmares of those who dared to remember its desolate halls and the malevolent force that lurked